The topic of this short tutorial is accessing the North Carolina Digital Library. Our goal is to help get you connected to public library resources. First, you're going to head to haywoodlibrary.org. Once there, you're going to scroll and select Online Resources. From there, you're going to scroll until you see the NC Digital Library. We also have the NC Kids Digital Library, but for the purposes of this video, we're going to highlight the NC Digital Library. Select. Once there, you're going to need to sign in. You will need to sign in with your library. Select your library, Haywood County Public Library, your card number, and your PIN or password, which is the last 4 digits of your phone number unless you have changed it to something else. Sign in. And it will bring you to the front page of the North Carolina Digital Library. First, they show you most popular ebooks. There's some audiobooks. They even have some movies. One thing I'd like to point out at this point, I am using a laptop in a browser window, which is perfectly acceptable to access the North Carolina Digital Library, but you may have a smartphone, a tablet, or other device. In that case, you can download the Libby app. You can also download another app called Overdrive. They are the same. In some respects, it's the same company. Libby could be considered a little bit of a better interface as far as customer experience. But you can download those apps. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to just show you through a browser window on my laptop. I'd like to point out under My Account, you can go to Settings. Settings will take you to your loan periods for different items. You can choose your audience. For the purposes of this search, I'm going to target young adult and juvenile. You can also change your contrast on your display to a black background with white letters. You can also change to a dyslexic font, which changes how the letters look, or you could do just the dyslexic font. Either or. The purpose of these is to help improve the user experience to make it as comfortable for you as possible to access these resources. Another thing I'd like to point out is you have where you can go directly to your loan shelf. It will tell you what you already have checked out. You can also go to your hold shelf. I don't have any holds at this time. A wish list. Rated titles. I don't have any right now. Recommendations. So it also gives you a history of the titles that you have checked out on your digital account. I'm going to go to Collections, and I'm going to look at the eBooks available now. Please know that we have different special categories that they have over here. Then we have audiobooks, videos, and there's also magazines. I'm just going to go to the eBooks available now. On the left side, I like the way they break it down. There are different choices that will help you narrow down your search. There's interest levels, reading levels, lexile measures, text difficulty. So if you knew you needed to target a certain level, you could do that and narrow down your choices. I'm just going to go for an interest level of middle grades. And of course, if you know a specific title, you can go to the search box and type in a specific title. I think I'm going to look at Bluefish. So when I select that title, it's going to take me to a page that has more information, a description. Of course, you would just click the arrow to get the full description, details. There's also reviews that you can look at. Select Read More to see the entire review. Reviews can be kind of interesting to read to help you decide if you want to check out and read a book. Also on the right side, it gives you those levels again if that's something that you need to make sure you're reading something in a certain level. Also, just like coming into the library to pick up a book off the shelf and to read a little bit of it to see if you really want to, you can read a sample. and it will give you a sample of the book so you can do some reading really quickly to see if that's something you want to stick with. If you decide then that you want to, you could just add it to your wish list. Maybe you're not ready to read it quite yet, or maybe you're ready. So I'm going to select borrow. From there, I have mine set for 14 days, but I could change it to 7 or 21 days. I'm going to stick with 14. Select borrow. From there, it gives you the choices of how to read it. If you have a Kindle, you can read it now with your Kindle. You could read it in the browser, or you could read it download it as an EPUB ebook, which I believe you have to have Adobe in order to do that. If you're going through the app, you're going to download the item to your device. I would suggest trying to do that while you're in Wi-Fi so you don't use up your data. If I select Read Now in Browser, it will give me the book. I also have the option up here of taking notes. Perhaps you're reading something and your teacher wants you to have some sort of notes or reflection. There's also highlights, and then you can share those notes with them via email. Another thing that you can do is if you finish it before your loan period is up, you can go to My Account, Loans, and you can return it early. If you don't return it early once your time period is up, in my case it's 14 days, then you lose access to it. It essentially returns itself. I'm going to go ahead and show you. If you just click return, it's going to ask you, are you sure you want to return this title? And I'm going to return the title. So it's that simple. You don't have to hold on to it if you're through with it before the loan period is up. Thanks for listening and watching. If you have any questions, please reach out to the Haywood County Public Library at the Waynesville or Canton branch. Remember, our goal is to help get you connected to public library resources.